Okay, in this class, we are going to see an important section of our training called exception handling in Mule4 or in MuleSoft. Okay, you write any code. Okay, if you don't have exception handling, nobody will accept your code. If you don't have unit test cases in your code, nobody will accept your code, right? So whenever there is an error exception occurred in your code, that has to be gracefully handled. And we'll see that at multiple level, we can handle these errors. Okay. Activity level, flow level, or global level. Okay. But let's first understand what all things will come in our way. Okay. When we talked about, exception handling in our Mule4. So in Mule3, it was like Java throwable errors. Okay. Because like there will be a code try catch in Java. So whatever there is, inside the try, whatever it throws, it will go to the catch block. Okay, the similar way, on similar concept, they have wrappers in Mule4. Okay, so let's start with the hierarchy. So we can split the errors. So if I say there are errors, then from this error, there will be some general and some will be critical. Critical means you cannot handle them. For example, if I take the example, if you're getting fatal error, right, you cannot handle it. If you are getting memory overload, right, we cannot handle it. Memory overload. We don't have option because these are at environment level errors, right? We cannot handle them. But we have general, we categorize them, we'll say critical, and then we'll say any. See the hierarchy, okay? So any is the area where our exception handling or we can handle it. In any also, there will be multiple categories. Okay, in any, we can have, if you're writing database script, there could be expression error or exception. If you are using connector, connectivity error. If you are routing somewhere and an expression is wrong, routing errors. If you are using security, then if you are not handling or if you're not passing the credentials properly, then security error. If you are doing transformation inside your data view, okay, that transformation has a problem, then transformation error. And if these are not matching, okay, then we have something called unknown type also. Okay, these many categories are there in any. So who is the parent of all errors? Inside that any, and then we have these many categories. In connectivity also, if we try a retry option, okay, so reconnection strategy until successful, in that case, we'll get one more error called retry exhausted. Okay, retry exhausted error. In security, there could be two types of security. Okay, so one is client side, and second one is server side. So this is the final hierarchy of our errors. Okay, critical, yes, we cannot handle them, but any or we generally we say general. This category we can handle. Okay. Now, what level we can handle this? So let's go ahead and look at that. So if I go to my, so we can handle it at 3 level. Okay. So in my flow or activity level, if I don't write anything, so if I say no exception handling code. Okay. So if I don't write anything, where it goes? It goes to Mule runtime handler. Second one is, that means I can say this is the default error handler we have if you don't write any code. Second one, activity level. Activity level we can handle via try and error handling. We can have try block, and there we can have dedicated error handling for that. This option. This is called activity level. Then third, flow level. Each flow will have its, so I can have error handling. So I'll configure that error handling section of the flow. Fourth one is there. So let's say I don't want to give at activity level. I don't want to give at flow level. Application level. Okay. Complete application level. So wherever the error comes, activity level, any flow, it will go to application level. And this we call it global error handler. Are we clear? If I don't write any code, it goes to the Mule runtime error handler. If I write activity level, then I'll be using try block. And if I want flow level, then I'll go ahead and configure the error handling of flow. Now I want at the global level. So I'll go application level, I'll do configuration. So for global error handler, I need to do global configuration. Okay, is that clear? At what level we can handle it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Now to handle errors, we have scopes. The first scope is try. So inside a try block, whatever processes we have, we'll get an error handling section for that. Now let's say you have activity over here, you have activity over here, you have activity over here, you have activity, you have activity. Now if error comes over here, then let's say this is the flow. Okay, we'll number activities and we'll see the flow also. So if error comes over here, here or here, it will get handled over here. If it won't get handled over here, it will come to the flow level error handler at this section. If it won't get handled over here, it will go to runtime level handler. Clear? This is flow. This is runtime. This is activity. Okay, so this is your try scope. Now, second one, we have scope, which will be there in error handler. You cannot write it anywhere else. So wherever error handler section is there, this scope is there. That scope called on error continue. Okay, so let's talk about this. On error continue. So let's say this is your flow. These are the processors. Let me number them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have error handling section over here at flow level. Okay, and only error handling section is not enough. We need to add a scope over here. This is my scope. And this scope can be your on error continue, or on error propagate. We'll talk about that propagate later. So in this scope also, you'll be having processors. Now let's say this is 5, this is 6, this is 7. Now let's talk about it. Let's say this third activity throws exception. This third activity throws exception. So now we need to follow the rules. Rule number 1. What rule number 1 says? Stop there. There itself on that activity. Stop. Wherever you are, stop there. Rule number 2. Please follow these rules, okay? 6 to 7 questions will be there in the certification. Rule number 2, it says, check whether you have activity level error handler. No. Check the error handler, okay? Check error handler. Rule number 2. Activity level is there? No. Then check at flow level. So go in this order. Activity, flow, then go app level. Okay? Clear? Or Mule runtime. We'll see when it goes to Mule runtime and when it goes to the global level, app level.
Okay. In the first scenario, you said Mule level, right?
Yeah. Let's yeah. So right now I have error handling section. Okay. I have error handler over here. I have written the code. Now this code, this scope I use is continue. On error, continue. Let's talk about this. Okay. When we see the rule number 1, stop there. What happens? The moment you got the error, your Mule event will get appended this error object. Okay. Your Mule event, right? Whatever event we have here, payload, attributes, variables, all those will be intact, but one more object will be appended to your Mule event. This is your Mule event, guys. Mule event. Whenever you get exception, your Mule event will be immediately upgraded to with this error object. Now the same Mule event will get traveled over here. Same Mule event, okay? Now whatever activities we have in a scope, all those activities will be executed. This one, this one, this one. When from here, once your scope is done, it will see what scope you are using. If it is continue, then this error object will be deleted from your event automatically. You don't need to do anything. And when the error occurred, what will happen? This error object will be appended and your HTTP status code, HTTP status code. In error scenario, what it will be? By default, 500. Now, since the error object is deleted from here, this becomes a success scenario. Success scenario. Now, if it is success scenario, what will be the status code? 200. Okay. So, when I'm using an error scope on error continue, then the error object, once my all the processes are done, when I'm coming out of this, okay, first it will delete this error object from here. And where it will go? It will go to my responses section of listener. From error scope, it never goes to this activity. Keep in mind, once it is error occurred, okay, it never goes, any scenario, it never goes to 4 activity. I'll show you. If an activity level error handler, in that also one corner case, it can go to 4. We'll talk about that also, okay? But on error continue, once you reach to this error handler, it won't go back to the flow again. From here, it will go to responses section. Now, responses section will decide whether it's a success scenario or error scenario. Since I use the on error continue, where it will go? Success scenario. And finally, what output will get? We'll get 200. And in the body, we'll get payload. Am I clear with on error continue?
This is the third scenario, right? Stop, check, error handler, and this
Yeah.
one is third, right?
Yeah. Let's have
Okay.
a look at it. So now we'll see the execution of. So I have processor 1 here. I have processor 2 here. I have processor 3 here. Okay. In error handling section, I have processor 4 here. I have processor 5 here. And I have a scope called continue. I'll go with the short form. Okay.
Okay.
Continue. Now I got an error over here. What will happen? Stop. That means
Okay, stop.
1 executed, 2 executed. It will stop here. 3 won't get executed. It will come over here. 4 will get
4 and 5.
executed. So I can I write like this? 1, 2,
4.
4, comma 5. This is the execution of our flow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And whatever payload was there, whatever payload, let's say in my flow, the payload value was payload is equal to hello here. Okay. So that payload
Mm-hmm.
will come, Mule event will as it is come. And here, let's say I change the payload here while processing this, the payload change, let's say. Okay. This is, let's say the payload, I change it to payload is equal to on error continue. On error continue. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me what will be the response of this flow. Okay. This will be the, question in your certification. Now this
On
is a
error.
scenario. What will
Yeah,
be the output? What is the
on
status
error
code?
continue.
Status
Uh,
code
200 and it will
200
be on error continue. Yeah.
and output will be on error continue.
Continue.
Thank you.
As we had changed the.
Yeah, we are changing here. That's it. Then I give the scenario also, right? I said
Yep.
at flow level here, the payload was hello world. Now here I change it to the on error continue, which payload will be given back to the client. That was the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you understand? Rule number 1, stop there. Check for the
Mm-hmm.
error handler. Rule number 2. Rule number 3, delete this error object from. So rule number 1, we have seen. Rule number 2, we have seen. Rule number 3, we have seen. Delete the error object, change the code. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to just repeat these rules. That's it. Now, third scope, that is called.
Can we see practical for
Yes,
both
yes,
of
yes.
them right now?
Yes.
Because as we have gone through that, so I think going through the practical is more important.
Okay.
So if I have any confusion, I can ask you,
Yeah, yeah.
and we will continue third and fourth scenario
Okay.
thereafter. Yeah.
So let's go back to our scenario. Okay. So
Mhm.
so let me start new project. Finish. Okay. So in this, what we'll do, we'll go ahead, add a listener. Okay, done. I'll add a requester. And in requester, we'll intentionally what we'll do, we'll call the wrong one. http://localhost 8082/test. Listener, we'll say simple as it is, whatever is there, we'll pick it. Okay. Exception. Okay. Okay. So for time being, we'll simulate that scenario. Okay. So I'll add. So now the activity 1. So let's say rename it 1. This is activity 2. This is activity 3. Okay. Now I don't have any error handling here. Okay. Now this is the first scenario, right? Let's save this and let's run this in debug mode so that we'll be clearly seeing what changes are happening. Okay.
Okay. Do we need to add the breakpoint?
Yes, we need to add. Everywhere we'll add the breakpoint. Okay, deployed. Let's look at our, let's clean this console and bring back our Postman. Okay. http:// okay. Exception, that is our resource path. Let's go ahead. We'll wait here. Now, right now, if you look at our Mule event, do you see any error object over here right now? No. Attributes are there. Payload is there. Where section is there. Correlation ID is there. Clear? No error object right now. Next activity. We'll execute this activity. It will add. See now, the error object is added here. Have a look at it. Now let's look at this error object carefully. Whatever discussed, we have discussed so far, right? Error. Inside that, there is an error type. Have a look at it. And you see here, the diagram which we have discussed, this is connectivity error.
Yeah.
See, if you go and look at the parent of this guy, see, Mule. And finally, the parent of this guy is any. See here, any, connectivity, and then which connectivity, you can have multiple different connectors, right? Whether it's a HTTP connection, DB connection, Salesforce connection, that will be there. So this naming convention, if you see here, right, it is always a namespace : identifier. So in this case, namespace is your HTTP. In this case, namespace is your Mule. In this case, namespace is your Mule, and identifier is any. Okay, so you need to understand this. What is this HTTP? That will also be a question in certification. This is a namespace. Connectivity is the identifier. Okay, so error type. Then we have parent error type, which is connectivity. And finally, it will go till end, okay? Till top element, and top element we have seen the hierarchy, right? That is any. Are we clear this pattern?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I say next activity, where it will go? Rule number 1. It will stop here itself. Have a look at it. It will stop here itself. It stopped actually.
Yeah.
Where it goes? Right? No activity number 3. It goes to. So first, what internally what it checks? We already checked whether activity level error handler is there. No. Where flow level error handler is there? No. Did I write any error handler? No. It goes to the Mule runtime level error handler, and Mule runtime error handler is equivalent to on error propagate. That's the reason I wanted to discuss that. See here, this is on error propagate. On error propagate always give you 500, and it gives you the error description. Now, if you look at my scenario, so from here it jump onto the Mule runtime. Before sending a response back, right, it come to the listener. Inside the listener, if you see responses, because this was error scenario, it went to the error response section and it returns the error description. In error object, you will find error description about your exception, and that error description is a string that will get written back to the client. That's what happened right now. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go ahead now and we'll see the first scope. So you just search for here error. You'll able to see on error continue. Let's drag that here in this section. See how I added here. Okay. So let's go ahead and add one more activity here. Close this, go to favorite, and we'll set a payload here. I remember I told you. So here we'll set a payload saying that this is hello. What? This is a main flow payload, right? Then here we'll bring a logger. So activity 3. So what we'll do, we'll rename now. This becomes 2. This becomes 3. This is 4. This is 5. This is 6. And here inside this activity, what we'll log, we'll say that on error continue, and it is coming from inside flow, or I'll say flow level error handler. Clear? Right? Save this. Okay. Let's see what all changes are happening now. Okay. Once it's deployed, we'll rerun the process again. And I put a breakpoint here. We'll cross check all the rules now. From here, it should not go to 4 at all. Okay. From here, it will jump onto the HTTP responses section and will go back to the client. It's deployed now. Let's go ahead and rerun the process again. Come back here, change the perspective. I'm on logger now. Activity number 1 is getting executed. Activity 2 numbers getting executed. It will set the payload. Have a look at it. It set the payload. Hello world. Now activity number 3 will throw exception. It throws exception. Error object is appended to our Mule event. My payload is as it is right now. Hello world. Now it will go to error section. See, it went to error section. Now here you noticed on error, I didn't write any error type. Which error I supposed to handle it here? That also we can decide. Right now, since I didn't mention anything, all the errors will be handled by this guy. In next run, I'll show you what all error we can handle it here. Okay. Okay. Next activity.
Okay.
Still the error object is there, right? Now, once you cross this error object will be deleted from Mule event. That I'll show you in next flow. So now if you see now, it went to and we got 200. Why we got 200? Because I have on error continue scope over here. It deleted that object, and once it object is deleted, that response treated as a success scenario. And since it went to the listener sees, hey, is there any error in Mule event? No, because this guy consumed that error object. And that's the reason error responses with success scenario. And that success scenario was whatever payload we have set. We have set payload over here, hello world. We have set payload over here, on error continue, flow level error handler. Right? And that is what message we are receiving here. Now, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Now, what I'll do, I say here, we have option to configure error type. Now, have a look at it. If I search for it, this is a Mule4 facility where we can see, okay, whatever activities are there in your Mule flow, whatever possible exceptions can occur in this flow, those will get listed down here. Right now, we have only HTTP activity. Have a look at it. Only HTTP specific errors are there. And this expression and the stream maximum size exceeded, these are default. This will be there always. This expression and stream maximum size exceeded, this will be always there.
And when they are occurred.
Yeah. Now, if I go ahead and add one more activity here, let me go and show you. So let's say we'll go ahead and add a database specific activity. Okay. So for example, insert activity. So I'll add the module database module. Okay. I added it and we'll go ahead and add an activity called insert. Now, if you go ahead on error continue here, and if I search, right? Now see, now DB specific error also. Are you able to see? Now during design time itself, I'll be in a position what all error can occur during runtime. That's a good thing we are getting in the Mule4. This was not there in Mule3. We need to go to this HTTP requester module, read the documentation, and come back and handle those here. Now this connector itself, they are giving metadata. From that metadata, my error handler is able to understand that what all error can occur in this flow. And those errors we are handling it here. Am I clear so far?
And do we need to provide the numbers for that error?
Numbers? What do you mean by numbers?
So whatever errors we are generating. So
we are not generating, it's getting generated, right? And at this level, right now, I can go ahead and I can say, hey, go ahead and handle this error only, specific error. What was the error? You remember? That error was connectivity error. So I'll go ahead and say connectivity. Only connectivity will get handled here. See, HTTP connectivity.
So we don't need to configure, right? It will generate automatically. Whatever error there will be. It will show.
So on this activity, whatever error is coming, that error type will get checked over here. If it is matching, then only it will go inside. If it is not matching, it won't go inside. And these error handlers, you can have n number of error handlers here. Okay. On error continue, keep on adding here. On error propagate, we can add it here. Now these error handlers will get executed in sequence, top to bottom. For example, this error type is getting matching here, here, and here. The first one, whoever is matching, that scope will get executed, whether that is on error continue or on error propagate. Don't care. Whichever is matching first, from the top to bottom, it will go and it will execute whatever process are there, and then it will return back to the caller or the client. Now let's have a look at this scenario. Okay. Now, now instead of adding this activity, any questions so far?
Can we add in this second error continue as well, something there
Here? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's delete this guy because we have not discussed it. So here you want to add something. So, okay, I know that. We wait for it. So I'll add some logger over here. Right? Now let's have a look at it. Okay. I didn't configure anything. What I'll do, I'll drag this guy above. Okay. I have dragged it, right? Now, if you look at this, if this activity throws error, basically here also it's matching and here also it's matching, right? Now let's have a look at it. Okay. Save everything.
Do we need to?
What?
On the logger, I think there is some exception.
You don't need to specify anything. Just go ahead and say, you can type also any here. If you know the exact error type, you can go ahead and type also. Okay. So if you save everything, now which one should get executed? Only this guy, right? As per expectation. Now tell me, what will be the output? For the final client, what will be the output?
It will give the 500 error.
500. Let's see. Why you are saying 500? I don't understand. It's on error continue.
Okay, yeah, it's on error continue. Then it will give 200.
200 and payload.
Payload will be the similar.
Okay, let's see.
Before.
Let's see.
Because we have not set payload here.
What will be the output? So it's going here. Next activity. Third activity throw error. Right? Where it will go now?
On error and that one.
If you see here, this HTTP colon connectivity is matching here also. But as I mentioned, it will go in order, right? So first logger is getting executed. We are not setting any payload over here. The error object from here, it will get deleted. And then finally error response. HTTP response will consider this response as a success scenario and it will send 200 plus whatever payload. Payload was hello world. Now, if you go ahead and say next activity, it will show me hello world. See? Clear? Now, I wanted to show you that whether the error object is really getting deleted or not. Okay. So let's have a look at it. So go ahead and I'll extract this activity to a flow and give flow name. I'll say get users. Okay. And I'm creating that flow in the same file. Okay. So now if you see here, I have this. Okay. I'll add it this here. Add breakpoint. Added breakpoint. Okay. Now have a look at it. What will happen now? Okay. Save everything. It will deploy that. Now, okay. We'll go ahead. On error continue. I'll add it here. We'll go ahead. Set payload. I'll add set payload over here. And in the set payload, I say on error continue. Okay. Child flow level error handle. Okay. Now we have set payload here. Now we are okay with this. We'll delete this. Now here I say parent flow level error handler. Clear scenario?
Yes.
Both case we have on error continue. Okay. Now save everything. Let's go to the Mule debug mode. It's deployed. Let's go ahead, send, come back to the flow, activity number 2, activity number 3. It will take me to the child flow. Now next, it will throw error. Okay, so my activity number 3 over here, it throws error. Now where it will go? It should go here or here? Tell me. Where it should go?
It's own error handling.
Its own error handling, right?
Child flow, yeah.
Since I was not having any breakpoint here, it came back here, right? So it went to the error handling section and it came back to this activity, parent flow, from wherever you called it.
Okay.
Now have a look at it. Do we have so something is wrong. So it should be deleted over here. Okay, let me add the breakpoint. Now, if I say next activity, let's go back and one more time we'll execute this. Send, reached here, next activity, next activity, next activity. Error. It's coming over here, right? Now, see here now, right? What happens? Now, if you look at this from my flow, let me explain this, okay? First, quickly. So let me go help of some other tool. We need to be very careful and understand this. Okay. So this activity calls the child flow and it went to this guy over here. This guy throws error. Now it jumped to the error handling section over here. Since this is a on error continue, what happens in my Mule event? When this guy throws error, error object added, and we have seen that, right? Error object added. It come back to the on error continue here. It executed the set payload and it deleted. In other words, we can say deleted this object or consumed. Since this error object is consumed, this flow reference, from here it came back to the flow reference, okay? And this flow reference sees that there is no error object in Mule event. That means this flow executed
successfully.
That's the reason it's going to the next activity. If this error is not handled at this level, it will come back to this flow reference, and it will be exactly similar that this flow reference actually throws error. Now, what rule number 1 says? Stop there. Look for error activity level error handler. No. Look for flow level error handler. It will go here. If this error is not handled at this child flow, but child flow properly handles the error, it consumes that error object and it return back. When it return back to the flow reference, it sees that there is no error object, so it's continue from here the next activity. That is what I wanted to show you clearly. Is that clear?
Yep, it's clear. But in which scenario we should use this type of error handling?
Okay, I'll come back to that point. So now if I say next activity, what will be the output? Can you tell me?
The set payload child level.
Yes, and status code 200. See here,
200. Yeah.
On error continue equal to child flow error handler, and status code is 200. Now if I go back quickly here, now this scenario could be C. So for example, if this activity is not that, if it the response of this level of this flow, right? If you wanted to handle at this level itself. Okay, so for example, I wanted to log this error, and even if this activity fails, I want to continue this flow. That kind of scenario. Okay, so for example, this activity.
So how can we log this? Because it has deleted the error, right?
Yeah, that's what. Very, very important point. Okay, so if you remember, let me go back to my whiteboard. Before going here, what we'll say, we'll discuss that point.
Yesterday we talked about this thing, I think, here.
Yeah. Okay. So now we have child flow here, right? And we have parent flow. Let's talk about this. So this is a parent flow. Parent flow. This is a child flow. Now, let's say the child flow. What I'm doing is I'm doing logging. If this logging activity fails, do I really fail my parent flow? Not really, right?
No, not really. Yeah.
Okay. So in child flow, I have activity here that is actually logging data to the file or database. Now, if this activity fails, what I'll do? I'll do error handling here itself. Error handling. Now, your question was, hey, the error object is getting deleted. But when you go to the error handling section, that time error object will be there in the Mule event. Error object will be there in the Mule event. Only when you're coming out of this error scope, error handling scope, then only the error object will be deleted from the Mule event. But till that point, you have error object. In this section, you can catch that error object details and write it to the database or file. So if somebody asks you, how can I capture those details of the error object? Once you come out of the error handling section, if it is on error continue, I will losing that data. And from here, I cannot go to the parent flow with the error object, because parent flow is not interested in if you are failing. Right? Parent flow is really interested in continuing. So once you do this, whatever your result, okay, I want to continue. So I want to continue with this activity. In that case, we'll configure this way. Child flow, on error continue. In on error continue, when we are saying set payload, right? Instead of set payload, I'll say write or insert to database. That means what happened to this child flow, that data will be there here, either in the file or in the database. I'll continue with my parent flow and I'll execute the next. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
So, So the result is whatever we are setting we have put this in the set payload, right?
Correct.
So That will come to the next activity.
Yes. So for example, now again I'm repeating. Okay. So in child flow, so here I have, let's say, set payload activity, right? And so final set payload, the payload, final payload from the child flow, final, okay? Either you're setting payload in your processor section or error handling section. Wherever you're setting the payload, that final payload will come back to this activity.
If we writing the file as well, if we are writing in file, right? In a
if you're writing into the file, right, the output of write operation, right? Inserting
into file, and that will,
right, whatever output is coming from that activity, whatever activity you're doing, write file won't return anything, insert activity won't return anything, right?
Yep.
So whatever final output, that's the reason I said whatever final payload we are setting at child flow, that will come back to this guy, because we are using on error continue.
On error. Okay.
If we use on error propagate, we'll talk about that in a moment now. So are we clear with these scenarios?
Yeah, definitely.
So child flow, if I'm handling here, it will get that error object will consume here, it will come back to this activity. It won't see any error. It will go back to the next activity, continue. And finally, the listener will decide, hey, this is successful execution. Let me send the success response back to the client.
Okay.
Clear? Okay. Now let's go ahead and talk about the third scope called on error propagate. Third scope called on error propagate. Now what this guy does, okay, the name itself says, hey, don't consume, send it back, propagate it. So now let's say this is my child flow, this is my parent flow, or other way we'll say this is parent flow, this time we'll change the order, this is child. Now let's say this is the activity here, which is calling this child flow. I have activities here and I have error handling over here, okay? And this scope is on error propagate. Now let's say this activity is throwing error. So activity number 1, activity number 2, 3, 4. Now rule number 1 says what it says. Stop here. Check for error handler. Rule number 2. Rule number 1 is done. Rule number 2, check for error handler. Where is error handler? On flow level. It's there. What error on error propagate says? Decide on that. Okay, so decide based on error handler scope. Error handler scope, whether it's a on error continue or on error propagate.
Yeah.
Then rule number 4 says execute whatever is there inside that scope. Execute it. So I have activities here, all will get executed. While coming back or coming out of the scope, now decide whether to delete that error object from Mule event or not. Error object. If it is propagate, don't delete it. If it is propagate, don't delete it. If it is continue, then delete it. And just now we have seen for continue that error object from the child flow while coming back to the parent flow, it was deleted. Now let's look at the same scenario with this on error propagate. Now what on error propagate does, it won't delete this object. Since it won't delete the object, Mule event sets the status code as 500. Okay, let's look at this. If it is on error continue, what will be the status code? It will be 200
Yep.
and no error object.
Yep.
This is the scenario we already seen. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go back now and let's only change that. Okay, so instead of on error continue, what I'll do? I'll go back here and
On
I'll
error
just place
propagate.
on error propagate. Error, just search for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll drag it here. I'll drag this activity down. Okay, I'll delete this activity. Okay, instead of this message, what I'll do? I'll say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
save everything. Now see the behavior now. Now the behavior of my flow will get changed. Okay, so let's wait for the deployment. Okay, deployed. Let's go ahead now. Send, come back, change the perspective. Okay, it's there. Next activity. It's going here. This activity is throwing error. It's going because any is there. So this guy will be executed. Now, while coming back to the parent flow, let's have a look at it. It's exactly similar to this flow throws exception. Now see, the error object is as it is there. See, have a look at it. Now, since the flow reference sees the error object in Mule event, it won't continue. This is exactly similar to this activity throws error. This scenario is exactly this activity throws error. Now, main flow, what it will do? Again, it will apply all those rules. Stop the execution here. Where it will go now? It will look for error handler. Do we have error handler at the activity level? No. Do we have error handler at the flow level? Yes. Now that error is coming over here. See? Now this flow will handle this error. Now if you look at this guy, right? This guy sets the payload. First, initially, this guy sets the payload. That was overridden by this payload. Now, parent flow also setting the payload. Now, tell me what will be the output, final output of my response?
Parent level.
See here, on error continue, parent level for flow error handler, and status code is 200. Now look at this scenario properly. So 3 places we have set the payload. The final payload is this one. Clear? This also scenario will be given. These pictures will be given there in the certification, and they will ask you.
Can we go again, please?
Yeah. Okay. So let's continue again. So it's coming over here. Next activity. This activity is calling child flow. Inside the child flow, there is an error now. Right? There is an error. Now error object is added to Mule event C. Immediately it's added. It was not there. It's added here now. Right? Now, whenever the activity throws error, all those rules gets applied. Do we have on error activity now? No.
Yeah. Okay.
Activity level, we don't have.
No.
Flow level, we have. So it will go to the flow level. I'm setting payload over here. Now have a look at it. My old payload was what? Now have a look at it. Hello world was there. This is the parent.
Yep.
Now the moment I execute it, now see, have a look at it.
Child level.
On error propagated, child flow level error. Now since this Mule event from here is coming back to the parent flow as it is, and inside that Mule event, we have error object. Now since this activity sees that error object, it is exactly similar to this activity throws error. Okay, now if this activity throws error, it can't continue the next activity. What it will do? It will follow all those rules again. Stop here.
Stop here.
Look for activity level.
Activity level.
No.
Not that.
Look for flow level.
Flow level. Yep.
Yes. Is it matching this error type? Yes, it will go inside. If it is not matching, I'll show you that also. If it is not matching, what will happen? Okay, let's do that in a moment. See, it's coming here right now. It's matching. That's the reason it's coming here. Now I'm updating that payload. See, I can't show you that because next activity is not there. So I can show you that, right? But finally, you can see the output. This message is coming from the parent flow error handler. Now let's go back here and this activity, instead of this HTTP connectivity, what we'll do? We'll say bad gateway. I'll remove this. Now I'll save this. Now what will happen? Okay, let's see. Quickly, we'll see that and we'll see some more scenarios. Now this activity, go to next activity. This one, go to next. This one, go to next. Error, next. Here, now, next. This guy. Now, all those rules, apply those rules. Now see if I say next activity, whether it will go inside or not. Whether it will go inside this scope or not. No, it didn't go. Where it go? It outside? Went to the Mule runtime error handler because it's not matching. Okay, it's not matching. That's the reason it went to the Mule runtime error. And what is the Mule runtime error? Something wrong. Okay, so just we'll trigger it one more time.
I feel like that error continue and propagate are like similar.
No.
I feel like that.
No. On error propagate and on error continue. You are similar.
Kind of.
No.
Kind of.
I showed you the difference, right?
Yep.
So it's coming over here. Error. Now it's coming over here. Now from here, it went to the Mule runtime level. And Mule runtime level is exactly on error propagate. So if that is also question will be there in on error Mule runtime, it will be exactly similar to the on error propagate scope. Okay, and let me figure out your question, right? You said, right, on error propagate and on error continue, say no. When it was on error continue, we went to the logger, right? For activity.
Yes.
Now, since I have on error propagate, after this flow reference, we are not going to the activity number 4.
Because we have error in that, right? Still
where
we have in the error handling on error propagate.
Okay. Let me clarify your doubt. Okay. So this is our child flow. Okay, this is our parent flow. Now I have activity here 4. I have activity here 5. I have activity here 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now let's talk the on error continue. On error continue. Both the levels. On error continue. On error C. On error C.
Yep.
Now this second activity is actually calling child flow.
No reference. Okay.
Now this activity number 4 will throw an error. Now tell me the execution of activities. Tell me. Your execution starts from here. Tell me the, as per your understanding, tell me. Definitely one will get executed.
Yep. Two will get go executed. To the 2. Yep. 4 will get the error. And it will go to the flow level OC.
Here. Okay.
Okay. And from there, if it will matches, and then it will set the payload and come back to the second activity. It will set the payload and 200 response, and will go to the third activity.
Third activity. This is happening because we have on error continue here. Okay, so now we can say it will go to 2 and it will go to 3. Right? This is how this flow will get executed. Finally, this is whatever these activities are setting, based on that output will be there at the end. We don't care about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's change this. Okay. Now let's change this on error propagate. Now you tell me. You said it is a same activities only here on error propagate. Now tell me the order of execution. One definitely.
1, 2
Two
will
definitely.
execute, 4 will get the error,
Okay.
then it will come to the flow level OEP error handling.
Here. Okay.
Yeah. Here
Let me
I'm
set one more activity here. 7. 7 will get executed after 4.
okay.
Right.
Mhm.
Here also I'll add that 7. Okay. 7 will get executed. Now,
Executed. Okay.
where it will go?
Here it will set the payload or not. I'm just confused that at the
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. Based on your, so let's say you are setting payload. Okay, fine. Here you are setting
Mhm.
payload. Some
Or
activities are
writing
there.
file.
Activity
Yeah.
number 7 is a set payload. Okay.
Mhm.
Now what will happen? This is on error propagate, right?
Yep.
What is the property
So
of on error propagate?
so I'm confused here only right now. So it will go to the second flow,
Second floor,
and
parent
then
flow.
means on the second activity,
Yes, activity number 2. Okay.
because it will have the active from the error, it will have the error, right,
Error in
from
the
the
mule event.
mule event.
Yeah.
It
Mule
will
event error
continue
object will be there.
because it will not remove that error.
Yes. Yes.
In continue it will remove that error,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
But
Yes.
and on propagate it will not remove that error. It will
Yes.
come to the second activity, and from there it will come to the flow level error handling, uh, and it will go to this 8. You added the 8, so it will go to that 8 and give the response as per 8.
Exactly. Now you see the difference between on error continue and on error propagate. You yourself
And
you figure out, right?
okay, and on 8 it will give the 500 code, right?
So
Or
depends again which type of a scenario you have. Let's say here, no, it won't give. So see, it's actually on error continue.
okay, that
On
is
error
on
continue.
error continue. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, I thought it is on error
So
propagate.
on error continue 200, and whatever payload we have set it during that process, that will
It
be given
will,
back to.
yeah, 8.
If it is propagate, definitely it's a 500
Mm-hmm.
and error description.
Okay.
Whatever error descriptions. Say I didn't change anything here in the listener properties.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't change anything. Default is there. In that scenario, we are talking about 200 payload, whatever, wherever you set it, final payload, and 500 and error descriptions. If you don't change any, you don't do any customization in this HTTP listener responses code.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Got
So,
it.
yeah. Now, let's talk about this guy. Try scope. Now, this is my flow. My main flow. I'll be having error handling here also. Now, let's say I have activities. Activity number 4, activity number 5, 1, 2, 3. Now, what I want to do basically, this activity number 2 is not that important. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
if any error occurs here, right? What I want to do, I want to continue with the 3, just
Okay.
like we did it in for logging, right?
Yep. Got it. Yeah.
So, I can use a try block here, and try block will have its own error handling here, exactly similar to this one. So, I can have here 6. And if you want to continue this activity, then what error scope I should have here? Tell me.
On error continue.
Exactly. On
Yeah.
error continue.
Mhm.
If I use on error propagate, what will happen? This 6 activity will get executed, but it won't
but
consume that error object. So this try block
and
will say, hey, this fails. So this
yep,
complete
it will not
activity
go.
failed. Where it will
Yeah,
jump? It will jump to 4.
4,
Then it will get execute 5. And whatever the error
5.
scope it is, based on that, the response will be
Mm-hmm.
sent back to
Mm-hmm.
after 5. Okay. That means the 3 won't get executed. Now let's take this scenario and see the order. Okay. So I have, instead of that, we'll go ahead and see the demo. Okay. On error continue, on error propagate is clear to you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Totally clear. Yeah.
Yeah. So now instead of this flow handler, delete this, bring this back here. Okay. Delete this. Delete this guy. We don't need it, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now this activity is throwing error, right? And this is
Mm-hmm.
doing some logging. I don't want to fail my flow based on that. So I'll say wrap in by try. This is the one way, or directly you can go and there is a try scope there, drag it, and then drag this activity inside.
Mm-hmm.
Here, there are 2 ways we can do it.
Okay.
Now it's that the try has its own activity here, error handling activity. We can get this scope, add it here, and here I'll go ahead and say set payload, and this payload will say, I'll just copy paste.
Can we set to write the file instead of set the payload?
Yeah, we
So
can write it to file.
yeah,
You want it to write to the file?
yeah. So want to see that scenario
Okay.
if we
So I
can.
don't want this database. We'll go ahead and add file, add it here, drag it and add it. Okay. And then write file activity here. So we are setting payload. Okay. And then we'll write it to a,
We need to write the error, right?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we don't need to set the payload at that.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do that. Don't worry about it. Okay. So
Okay.
now we'll select our outbound folder. Yesterday we have created outbound folder somewhere.
In your workspace.
Yes, right. We'll set it
Mm-hmm.
here and okay. And the file name, right now we'll give file name very simple. Okay.
Error.txt. Yeah.
Error.txt. Clear? Error.txt.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of payload here, right? What we'll do, we'll go ahead instead of setting this payload, right? Here we are trying to set the payload, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we'll say? We'll say error dot description. See here. Either you set this here, okay? Or directly instead of writing payload here, we can set that error dot
Okay.
description.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, both ways is possible. Either directly you set the payload over
Got it.
here and then write the payload over here,
Got it.
or
Yeah.
directly you can say control with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Clear?
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, let me delete this activity for your understanding.
Yeah.
Now clear everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, save this. Wait for a console. Since we have added a module, we'll restart it, okay? We have added new module, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll redeploy our application fresh. Otherwise, sometimes don't pick that module and write operation won't get executed at all. So we have seen activity level, we have seen flow level, error handlers, we have seen both the scopes.
Mm-hmm.
After this, we'll see how to add global level. Okay. Once this is
Okay.
done, change the perspective. Now wait for the deployment. We'll open that folder also. Right now it's empty. Let's go ahead. It's getting deployed. It's deployed now. Let's go ahead. Trigger. Now say next activity. Next. Next. See here. This will throw exception. Now first it will see now the rule number 1 activity level. Do we have error handling? Yes.
Yeah.
Where it will go now?
Stop.
Stop there. Go to that error handler. See, now it's continuing the next activity. Clear? But let's see the file is written here. Yes, error.txt is there. If I open it, if I drag it, see here. HTTP get on response. This is failed. Connection refused. No further information. If you this is the error description only. If you want detailed description, then go and try next property there. Error.detailed description.
Okay.
Clear?
Yep.
See, we have not lost any information. We got the error response in the file. It's there. And now I'll continue with the next activity. I'll keep on continuing. Clear? If you see now, see the hello world, because we have handled the errors at activity level, and that flow behaves like nothing happened over here.
Yeah, definitely. Got it.
Everybody executes successfully, and that's the reason we are able to see this payload back to our client. Here. Okay. Now, I don't want to have activity level error handler. Okay, I'll just go ahead, remove this, delete. I don't want this, delete. Now, this scenario we already tested, right? If this setting is there, it will go to Mule runtime error handler. And that is equivalent to on error propagate, right?
Yep.
Save everything. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a global error handler. Okay, let's have a look at it. So, if you go ahead and search for it, error handler, there is a error handler here. Drag it here. Okay, and give a name. Global error handler. Okay, global error handler. Drag on error continue and drag set payload. Okay, now I'll tell you this scenario. Okay, so let's very useful. Okay, so now I have this flow. Okay, so now we are trying to understand global level error handler or application level error handler. Global or app level, complete app level. Only one error handler is there. Okay. Now this is the flow. This is a listener. These are the activities. And now try to understand, okay? If any error handler is there, any error handler, okay? Whether it's a on error continue or on error propagate. Whatever error you're getting here, whether that error is matching here or not, matching or not. If you have error handler here, your global error handler never gets executed. If this, whatever code is there, whether it's a matching, not matching, nothing, I don't care. This guy won't get executed at all. If this
Got
is
it.
empty, only then empty, I'm saying empty. Okay. If it is empty, then only the global error handler will get executed. Otherwise,
Got it.
if you have error handler here, if it is matching, it will get handled here itself. If it is not matching, it will go to Mule runtime. Mule runtime level error handler. It won't go to the global. Keep that in mind. That's what I'm trying to show you now. Okay. Let's go ahead first. Configure a global error handler. I have configured it. And I set the message. Here, we'll set the message.
Global level.
Global error handler. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and intentionally I am doing one mistake. Okay.
Okay.
Because only writing global handler, it won't link these two flows. Okay. But still I'm running it. I'll show you where is that gap. Now I have created global handler. I have flow, but it won't go here. Okay. Somehow we need to tell this flow that, hey, there is a global error handler. You need to go there. That we need to tell explicitly. That we'll do in a moment. Here, we wait for this. Because from here, there is no link, right? Somebody has to tell. Yeah. Somebody has to tell. And that somebody is nothing but global configuration. So we'll do that in a moment. Let's first check. Okay, once it is deployed. I'm doing that intentionally so that you'll understand, okay? I'll put one more breakpoint here. Console. Deployed, right? Go ahead. Trigger. Go back to the flow. Next activity. This activity throws error. Yes. Next activity, if I say, where should it go? It never goes to 4. It should actually go to the global error handler because we have written it, right? But it won't go. Where it went? It went to the Mule runtime level error handler because I didn't tell that there is a global error handler. How we can do that? We can do that by configuring our global elements. You need to go here, create.
Right now it is given 500 error, same as propagation.
Yes. Okay. You want to see that? Yes. See, 500 and the error description. So we'll go ahead here and we'll say configuration, global configuration. And here see default error handler. Now you can go ahead and select it. See. Now if I do this configuration and if I say save, it will redeploy my application. Okay, let's do this. Let's wait for the deployment. It's building the application.
And if we have like multiple global level error handler, then it will go one by one as it went in.
No, one global error, there you can have multiple error scopes, error handling. Okay. Error handler, global error handler, only one will be there. You don't have option to select multiple over there. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go to the debugger mode. It's waiting for the deployment. Yes, it's deployed. Let's go ahead here now. Send. Come back to our flow. Debugger. Next activity. This activity will throw error. Next activity. See here. It's coming now, right? This is global error handler. Now, let's have a look at it, okay? Now we understand this will go to from global level error handler, it never comes back to the main flow. From there, it will go back to the HTTP listener, and from listener, it will go back to the client. Now see the payload output, global error handler, see 200. Now I'll quickly go and try to add error handling section here.
So why it didn't go to the activity 4 then?
The what rule number 1 says?
stop.
At that point, don't continue.
Okay.
Right? You don't go to the activity number 4 at all. Unless you have activity level error handling here. From the low level error handler, it won't go back to the 4. From the global level error handler, it don't go back to the activity number 4.
Okay.
Only if you are handling at activity level try block. And inside the try block, also if you handle on error continue, then only it will go to activity number 4. On try also, if you have propagate, it won't go to the activity number 4.
We see that in application level as well, flow level as well, right?
Yeah, in flow level also, it won't go to the activity number 4.
Okay.
Flow level also, it won't go to the activity number 4. Okay.
Yeah.
It will go to activity number 4 in only one scenario. Try block, on error continue. That's it. No other. Okay. 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 Now, intentionally, I want to add on error continue here. Inside on error continue, I want to add set payload. Okay. And here I'll add simply parent level error handler. Okay. Parent level error handler. And here I want to show you one thing. You know what error is this guy is going to throw, right? HTTP connectivity.
Yep.
I don't want to handle it here. Now your understanding will be, okay, here error is thrown. It came here. It's not handled here. It will go to global error handler. No.
No, it will come to the error handling. Yeah.
Okay. Just hold on. Okay. So here search and I'll say something else. Forbidden. Save this. Save this. Now, what did I mention?
It will go to runtime.
Since I'm not handling it, it will go to runtime.
Runtime, yeah.
Global error handler only get executed if it is empty.
Empty, yeah. Got it.
Let's have a look at it. Okay. Quickly.
Yeah.
So it will build it. It will get deployed. It's deployed now. Let's go to the debug mode. Let's try to trigger it. Send. Go here. Next activity. This activity throws error. Next activity. See, it didn't go to global error handler. It didn't go here because it actually went here, but it didn't match.
Yep.
Okay, so it didn't match. So it didn't go to the global error handler. It directly went to the Mule runtime level error handler. That is exactly on error propagate, and you will be able to see error description out there.
Okay.
This behavior you cannot change. Okay. Now let's go ahead and I have scenarios. So all scenarios are clear, Kunal?
Yes.
Okay. I'll give you one more scenario. So now let's have a look at it. Now what happened? This is my flow. Okay. Yeah, very carefully try to understand. Okay. So have activity number 1, activity number 2, activity number 3, activity number 4. Now activity number 2 and activity number 3, these are HTTP request calls. Okay. And by using these calls, I'm actually calling external services. External services. Now, if this service fails, this is not that important service. Not important. If it fails, I'll continue. If this fails, this is a very important service. If this fails, then I can't continue. Okay. So for this service, I want to handle on error propagate. On error propagate.
For second on error continue.
For this, I want on error continue. On error continue.
We can
Don't
use
tell me.
try catch
No, no, no,
at
no.
the second.
Okay. So try catch, yes. Okay. We can have activity level. Definitely we can have activity level.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to go activity level. I want to have the flow level. So if I go at the flow level, what happens? I could see only HTTP connectivity. How will I identify from which activity this HTTP connectivity error is coming? So if you look at right now scenario, already one HTTP requester is there, right?
Mm.
If I go ahead and drag one more HTTP requester component here, if I rename this is API 1 call. This is API 2 call. Now, if I flow level, if I go and want to handle it, there is no difference here. See, not telling me that it's coming from API 1 or API 2. How will I handle it? So what I actually want to do is for on error continue for API 1 if it is connectivity error. Okay, so I'll go ahead. Actually, this I want error on error propagate for this guy. So here I wanted to have custom error mapping. So for this, I want something like API 1 colon connectivity. So if API 1 throws a connectivity issue, you go here. If API 2 colon connectivity, then you go here. Okay. This is actually I want. But it won't work like this. Okay. I need to explicitly do this connectivity. Okay. Where I can go here at the activity level. And there is a error mapping here. Have a look at it. Go here. Select those errors. This activity can throw these errors. Okay. So which error we are looking for? Connectivity. And I say instead of this, I'll say API 1 identify will give connectivity. Okay. Now this is the mapping. I think I did a mistake here. It has to be. Okay. Save this. And here also, I think I missed one N. Control V. Okay. Now, if we go here and see this activity level, error mapping, custom error mapping, select that connectivity option. Okay. Instead of app, I'll say API 2 and say connectivity. Clear? Save this. Okay. And for here, I didn't call anything, right? So just we'll put the proper error here. So we'll say HTTP colon / request.in. I know that. Don't worry about it. I'll just do it. Request.in /API /users/2. Okay, so this actual URL, it works. This will throw error. Okay, so let's have a look at it. Save this. So this activity will successfully executed. This activity will throw error, and this will go to this error handler or error propagate.
Do we need to add breakpoint? Yeah,
we'll add a breakpoint. So we'll add a breakpoint over here. Okay. We'll add a breakpoint here also. So where it goes, it will be very clear.
Why there is some exception in the error handling too.
I think I didn't set anything. Set payload. Okay. Just for understanding, we are putting that payload, right? So let's save. I think it's deployed. Let's have a look at it. Send. Come back here. Change the perspective. Okay. Next activity. Next activity. Next activity. It's executed successfully because I have given the proper payload. It will give me a proper output. Now this activity throw error. It throws error. Now where it should go? See, it's going here.
Propagate.
See here, API to connectivity. Clear? Next activity. Done. Now here I'll create a problem. Okay. Now we'll change this to, we'll say invalid. Intentionally we'll do the error scenario. Console, redeploy this. So error mapping was executed last time. See, actual error was HTTP colon connectivity. It got mapped to API to connectivity, and finally it went to the error handler. So it's deployed now. Let's go ahead, send, come back here, say next activity. API 1 itself will throw error now.
Yep, got it.
It's giving me error. Oh, with invalid also it works. Come on. Okay. Something. Okay. We'll actually give some.
You can remove S from the users. I think that will.
Yeah. Okay. But you got the idea, right?
Yeah, I got it. And no need to go there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. So that's all we have in this error handling section. Okay. Hope you are very clear with all the scenarios. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead with your